Hello, this is Conquering History Games, and we are back for part 2 of my United Mexican States playthrough. I don't have any divisions in basic training. I probably should do something about that. Okay, let me put some recon in there. Of course I'm going to want field hospitals eventually, particularly if the combined syndicates end up going with mass assault doctrine. See, they're supporting the militia. Yeah, mass mobilization, CSA, is a horrible, horrible thing. If you're fighting it, that is, because they just get so much goddamn manpower. It's not good at all. Maybe I should do a playthrough as that sometime. So we're going to be at low stability for a while, which really sucks as far as my factories are concerned. And as much as I would like to take this 5th research slot, I want to just go ahead and start working with the Anglo rebellion because, okay, first off, full disclosure, there's going to be an event where there's something called like the Anglo rebellion finally spills over and there's a huge armed uprising and it takes away a bunch of your manpower and you take minus 260 political power. But I'm actually not 100% sure. I haven't taken the time to go through the files yet to see exactly what triggers that and how long it is. But it seems to be that like if you did not immediately start knocking these out at the time that by the time you would have been done, that's when the rebellion is going to happen, basically. So it's a problem that's only going to snowball on me if I'm not careful. Motorized. Got to get those field hospitals. So we're just going to be spending the next 2 years or so building up the army, getting some tanks ready. In 60 days, I'm going to be able to start making tank divisions. I've got some army experience, which is nice. We need to... Because I need a lot of it. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. So... I'm just going to call these medium for now. I'll come up with a nice name later. And we're going to... Right, I can't change any of them yet. Okay, what am I even doing? Okay, but I need maintenance companies. I need medium tanks. I need to increase my factory output at all times. And I need to deal with these horrible, horrible negative political power effects that are going to be hitting me constantly. See, it's ebbing and flowing here in the Appalachian area, up and down, up and down. And I sure as fuck cannot go to war with anybody until this war happens in Europe. So I don't really know what to do here. I don't want to send any volunteers overseas right now. I can only send one anyway, so I don't think I'd be able to make much of an influence on anything. Certainly not on the Spanish Civil War. What's Russia doing? Yeah, there's Savinkov. They've gone nationalist. Osman is just now addressing the council, so we still don't know if the Princely Federation is just going to shit its pants yet or not and start breaking up. Okay. Just going to start knocking these out right to left, and I say right to left because the Alamo question has an option that'll give me a lot of political power at the end, so I'd rather just kind of start piling up all the political power later on and just lose it early, if that makes sense. Reorganization of the territories. Some good stuff there. All right, so it's asking me if I want to grow my ideology. I'm actually not so sure because it's not going to matter until I get to 80. So I'm just going to say we don't need this because I'm never going to get up there in time, and it's just going to be a waste. So we're gonna be progressive here. I mean, I'm already going to be using up so much political power at all times, so why make it worse for myself, right? It's going to take 530 days, so these will be done by the time we're going to war. Of course, it's also hoping that the world tension is going to be up high enough by then as well. All right. Great. So using up all my manpower now, but that's okay. Yeah, Anglo guerrillas, Gringo riots. It's all awful. It's all bad. I'm actually missing some manpower. Okay. How's my production efficiency caps looking? Getting pretty close. I've already hit it here. Yeah, so let's increase that. And right, yeah, it's going to be a long, long time before I can move up to limited conscription. So let's just cancel this as well. And just make some fucking convoys or something for now. get, for trade and whatnot. Oh, there's a couple of I've seen this happen before. Yeah, there's a couple of American divisions that are just stuck there. Now, there is a way for me to get into another war, and I may want to time that correctly if I ever find myself with positive political power. Often, Central America and the United Provinces of America will go to war with one another. So you can then take this focus, intervention in Central America, which will let you form a faction with them, and then you can get in the war. Although you want to be careful because sometimes they go to war with the Entente. They tend to actually do pretty well, though. Surprisingly well. But again, I think I just need to focus on this stuff for now. Oh, the religion one, that's gonna hurt. Yeah, it's just ripping off a band-aid. It's like a worse version of when you need to fix Black Monday as Germany. All right, here we go. Status of language in the territories. The majority of both Mexican and Anglo populations do not speak the other's language, which is already causing incidents in the territories. While forcing the entire Anglo population to learn and speak Spanish would be impractical, perhaps some basic public works could assist our troops and settlers in the north. The principal subject of today's committee meeting is, from schools and governments to restaurants and street signs, what will be the official language in the territories? So I got some options here. I'm just going to approach this whole Anglo rebellion the same way I approach the coring of territory when you're playing as any of these Indian countries. It just takes way too long. The game doesn't go long enough unless you're wanting to play into the late 50s or something to make it worthwhile for any of this. So I'm just going to take everything that gives me a positive political power whenever I can. So there will be English street signs in the Northern Territories. It's we will incorporate them after the wars of conquest are over. Pancho Villa has bigger plans right now. Alright, elastic defense is done. Let's keep moving along. Oh, right, I can go ahead and edit this now. More gringo riots. Yeah, just get used to that. Okay. Let's take it to, yeah, damn them. Let's go to there. Yeah, 16 width for now. The motorized is still not done researching, so I need to wait on that. But I can put in the recon at least. Did I already put him here as well? Okay, good. I also want to make more divisions just to kind of fill out the western frontiers. They'd just be weak. They would just have infantry in them. That's it, nothing else. But again, I need more manpower to actually do that. So if I end up not being in a war, that's okay. I can also... Oh, nice. So the second Weltkrieg is going to happen here. Sure, we can send some aid to France, help them out. But I can go down here, down Mexican socialism, and get more recruitable population here if I end up really, really needing to. I don't necessarily need to go to war immediately as soon as the Anglo rebellion is done being put down, but it would be nice. The sooner the better. And I could also start working on the quality of my infantry equipment since I've just filled out all my manpower. Anyway, status of the Northern Religion. You see, we're knocking them out, and we're only 138 in the hole. Status of Northern Women. That's going to be a fun one. Alright, so let's talk a little bit about Pancho Villa since nothing's really going on right now. So Pancho Villa, major figure in the Mexican Revolution. Don't want to say he was the most important figure, but he certainly was the most colorful. Now, before the revolution happened... Oh, here we go. Status of religion in the territories. Let's do this first. While Mexico has historically been a Catholic country, the Anglos take on the religious heritage of England, Protestantism. The people in the territories, Texas in particular, are deeply religious, so the committee has to tread carefully on religious policy. It would be foolish, however, to ignore intelligence reports from our spy service that emphasize how the local churches are condoning, aiding, and abetting the insurrectionists, many of whom are zealous Protestants themselves. So, I can enforce Catholicism as the state religion, which will give me daily political power cost reduction. Don't think it's going to add up enough in time. Same thing here. Both of these lead to you know, the religious unity and stuff. But we can just let them freely go about their business. Now, I'm going to be 100% honest with you, and I know I'm somebody who makes introductory guides, although I have not made the one for Mexico yet. I mean, I'm not 100% sure what causes the major uprising that can happen. I really should look at the event trees. I should have done it before I played this. But on the other hand, I think it's a lot of the fun in Kaiserrich is just going in and not knowing what's going to happen. And just kind of, you just got to roll with the punches for so much of it. That's why I always will hold fondly the first time I ever played as Russia. That was the first Kaiserreich nation I ever tried out. I believe I went with Dmitry taking over, and the next thing I knew, there was a civil war, Finland was invading, the Soviet Union was on my ass, and I was still at like negative 400 political power. It was crazy, but it was fun. 3% research time, I don't know, no, field hospitals first. What's going to be done next? Armored spearhead. Okay. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so Pancho Villa, as I was saying, so he really colorful guy. Pancho Villa is actually not his real name. His real name was, fuck, I'm probably gonna forget it, but it was really long. I believe it was Dorteo Rango Arambula, which I've probably pronounced all wrong. But the thing that you gotta understand is that his early life doesn't matter. He was kind of like the Joker, too. He'd tell lies about his early life. He'd make up shit all the time. So, when the Mexican Revolution happens in 1910, this is where it really matters. Pancho Villa is already 32 years old. And what happened was there had been a president, Porfirio Diaz, of Mexico. And in 1910, they had an election. So he was running against a guy called Francisco Madero, who claimed that the election was fraudulent. So he creates a coalition of people who are pro-democracy. And he called for a revolution, and he declared that he himself was the president of Mexico. Wait, hold on a second. Yeah, so every time it says our ideology is grown, we're just going to say we don't need this. Actions of the Anglo resistance. The resistance of the Anglo population against our occupation forces continues. Once again, terrorist groups operating within the northern territories have staged a number of attacks aiming on crippling our infrastructure, our industrial output, and the morale of our forces. So I thought about this. Every single time, I'm just going to let them destroy my infrastructure because I could rebuild that. Although I do lose a little bit of manpower, but I definitely don't want to be losing more manpower, especially when I'm already at 0. So we're going to do that because infrastructure is relatively easy to rebuild. And that's also why I'm taking the time to make these civilian factories right now. Hold on, there's a sneeze incoming. Let me try to mute the mic for when it happens. You know when you get that tickle in your nose? Oh, man. Okay, I'm back. All right, now this army is starting to get a little bit too big, so let's take all of the cavalrymen and just put them over here. Actually, wait, no, I don't want to do that. No. Okay, so you guys are just going to be like right there. Not actually important, but something. Okay, wait, how much manpower is in these? There's 9,000 in here. There's 6,000 in the cavalry. Okay, it's about what I thought. We can go ahead and stop all of that as well. Okay. Status of Northern Women. How many more? 2 more? Okay, these help us, I think. These actually give me political power. And then when I get these, things will be awesome. The American Civil War seems to have just entered a place of stalemate. It actually worries me a little bit that the United States is pushing into the American Union state, but all of them... Actually, no, the CSA has quite a few divisions. All right, status of the natives. Let's go. Right, now, when Madero, you know, the Civil War, the revolution happens, he's trying to oust Porfirio Diaz. Status of women in the territories. Anglo women have taken to the streets and planned demonstrations not against Mexican occupation, but for women's rights, while critical of Mexico's actions, suffragists have decided to make the best of our progressive government and have thus petitioned Mexico to succeed where Washington failed, officially extend Mexico's constitutional rights of women to this territory. So we can grant them universal rights, which will give us more factory. We can give them voting rights, or now is not the best time. I cannot take 160 political power hits, so we will let them vote. More riots. Like, God damn it, stop giving the women the right to vote. Pew, 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 I'm Texas. Dibadaw, or something like that. You know what I mean? Alright, great. More of these are done. 290, 290. Okay, we're not going to get down here in time. Or maybe we will. It doesn't hurt to keep going. And plus, it's boosting up the efficiency of the tanks, and I'm already not going to have very many of them. I know I don't have the manpower here yet, but I'm just doing this to kind of get an idea of how many more tanks I still need to make. Let's turn all these motorized. Okay. So Pancho Villa is going to meet him in 1911, Madero, that is. And I'm not going to give the whole goddamn history of the Civil War and stuff. Although I think if you haven't, you should go check out my CSA Jack Reed lore video, where much of it is based on what happened before the Shatterpoint in the Kaiserrich universe, where it veered off from our original timeline. But he did spend time down in Mexico during the revolution hanging out with Pancho Villa and his army. Now, what you gotta do, what you gotta know, not do, what you have to know, what is this? Missing equipment production. Right, I need to be making motorized. There we go. In fact, let's get a little more in there. I'm going to need lots of that for my field hospitals. Is that like Madero ended up as president, and there's just so much. But another thing you got to, let's talk about my hometown. Let's talk about El Paso here. Wait a minute, what am I missing? Oh my goodness, I'm importing steel I don't need. Okay, better. What's outdated? Right. I've got to go to the MO8 and what am I going to be doing? Yeah, let's keep working on the infantry equipment. Make it a bit better. Yeah, after this, so once I'm done with all these, I'm going to go grab the fifth one. Right, but let's talk about Pancho Villa in El Paso. So El Paso is my hometown. El Paso is not on a Kaiserreich map, but it's here at the very tip of the Texas, where it touches the Rio Grande. It's like at the intersection of the Rio Grande, and it is in an area that is a pass through the Rocky Mountains, hence the name El Paso del Norte. Okay, awesome. We're nearly done. Just the Alamo question, and the worst will be over. We're almost done here. I can actually, geez, I'm so, how many divisions do they have? I am so tempted to just intervene now. But the thing is, because of how the nature of this war plays out, and this has happened when I've played other countries that intervene in the war, is I might get lucky to get like one state, and then the other two are going to get everything else. On the other hand, it's good to get the army experience. So it's tricky. I might just do it. I could cut them off right here. How long would it take me to justify? I mean, obviously I need more political power, but there's no way to tell. The status of American Indians. With the change in government, it is only natural that ostracized groups will seek support from the new government in hopes of finally overturning their fortunes. In this case, it is America's first peoples with which we share a lineage of American nativity and European colonialism, deprived also of their territory as well as their sovereignty. Indians now live like zoo animals in reservations where poverty is rampant, and the Indian Citizenship Act of 1936 does not go far enough in repairing centuries of subjugation. Therefore, we should expand on the act as it is our moral imperative that we grant assistance to the destitute American Indian and begin lifting them from oppression at last. So we can stand by them and we get a military factory, or will we ever stop enraging the Americans with all the guns? Sorry, Indians, you're going to have to take one for the team. Like I said, in peace, we will make things better. Promise. Fingers crossed. So anyway, Pancho Villa was in El Paso, which was just this little intersection by the river and through the Rockies, and there was a railroad there now, which is what had caused the population boom. And he plans in downtown El Paso the Battle of Juarez with some other revolutionaries. Now, Juarez is the sister city to El Paso. It is just on the other side of the border. They basically are one continuous urban. It's like urban sprawl, just like you would see in the Northeast United States. That is what it is, except it's not. Maybe urban sprawl is too strong a word, but they're cities that are connected. The only thing is there's just literally a river running through it. In fact, there are many people who just call Juarez downtown El Paso. And I'm sure in Juarez they call us uptown Juarez. So he plans the Battle of Juarez, and the funny thing was you had spies from the Mexican government who would be eavesdropping on those plans, while you also had spies from the United States government who would eavesdrop on the Mexican spies who were eavesdropping on Pancho Villa. But Pancho Villa was somebody who the United States liked at first. He had become he started to become very famous when he let some Hollywood camera crews follow him around, and the only thing he said was that he wanted half the profits of the movies of his life to go to him. Go to, there we go, that'll do it, to fund the army. And he had fun ways that he would fund the army. Wow, god damn, France just killed the Germans. And they were also at war with the Austrians. Hey, look, they made the United States of Greater Austria. Take that, everybody who says they just make the Danubian Federation every game. Wow, did Russia get involved? No. Wow, Germany just got its ass handed to it, plain and simple. Actions of the Anglo resistance, of course, just gonna let them hurt my infrastructure. I much prefer that to anything else. Although, yeah, let's knock these out real quick. Okay, I think the United States is who I'm gonna have to attack. How much do I need? I can do it now. Oh man, I think I will. I think I'm gonna do it because the Alamo question is gonna give me. It's gonna give me political power. It would only take 35 days. We're doing it. We are doing this. So once I get some political power, I can increase to limited conscription. And I'll do that immediately. Let's give this guy a commander. Who are we gonna go? You're gonna go Gallegos. Alright, awesome. Let's finally recruit these vigilantes and end this rebellion. Okay. Field hospital's done. See, I'm already out of army experience too, so that's another big part of the reason why I want to do this war now. It's hurting me to not have army experience. Yeah. Alright. As ready as we're gonna be. The fate of the Alamo. It was inevitable that the question of that decaying symbol known as the Alamo would arise. As it stands, the Alamo is a rallying point for insurrectionists and a shrine for the old regime. Therefore, a resolution has been called for to renovate the building and thus repurpose its symbolic value. But again, this may only serve to incur the wrath of the gringos. As per the directive of the Comité de Occupation del Norte, the Alamo will be preserved as a cultural heritage site, a war dead memorial, or demolished. So for those of you who don't know, the Alamo is here in Central Texas. It was a mission. Actually, wait. It's right here in San Antonio. And it was an old mission that a bunch of Texans, during the Texas Rebellion against Mexico, they holed up in there for 13 days against incredible odds, and eventually they were all killed. Everybody who grows up in Texas learns the name of the people who were there, like William Travis and Davy Crockett, who is like, I swear Davy Crockett is fetishized more in Texas than he is in his own home state. It's just like, he is attributed to saying the famous quote, I wasn't born in Texas, but I got here as fast as I could. But anyway, it basically was a site of a loss, but it became a rallying cry for Texas. It's something that every Texan knows about. And if you're ever in San Antonio, you got to go to the Alamo. You got to pull out your rug, put it down, bow in the direction of it, say your prayers and all that. So we're just going to go, but we're going to make it a war dead memorial because that gives me a whole lot of political power. And, oh, baby, that's what I'm talking about. Wait, what am I short on? Motorized and support equipment. Okay, so we're going to make we're going to make just some regular infantry divisions here. As many as I can. How long will it take to train these? Not till January. So I'm going to wait a little while, as long as I possibly can, to incorporate them into the army. Yeah, I just basically used up all the manpower gains that I got, but it's okay. It's okay. Because even once the justification is done, I still have time to actually enact it. What was I talking about? Oh yes, Pancho Villa. So Pancho Villa, he ends up leading the division of the North. He he was just running things in Juarez. So another interesting Pancho Villa story. He needed money. You got to pay the bills. Got to pay for that army. These guys aren't doing this shit for free. So at the time of the revolution, there was a boxing champion in the United States called Jack Johnson. If you have ever heard the term the Great White Hope, that is in reference to the attempt to find a white boxer who could defeat Jack Johnson. Now this was old. So anyway, here was the whole idea. He had fled the country. Jack Johnson had. Jesus, all these political power hits. You see, this is why you got to spend it as soon as you get it. How long do I have? Got till 22nd of January. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna send them out. We're gonna send them out immediately. Get them into position. Maybe get a couple of these cavalrymen over here. Yeah. So it's not the most elite army, but I think it'll be enough to get the job done. How short am I on equipment? Medium tank, mostly support and motorized. But I don't want to take any factories away from the infantry equipment. Okay, so yeah, let me just give it some time, give them some time. Maybe move a couple more of these, actually. Let's get an even 24 here. Trying to assign them all here. Great. Okay. There we go. And these ones on the left, they're not even going to do much. In fact, part of me wishes I had recruited engineers for entrenchment, but it really does not matter. Anyway, so here was the thing. It was 1914 heading into 1915, and Pancho Villa wanted to raise some money for his army. So he decided that he would host the heavyweight boxing title bout at the racetrack in the Juarez Jockey Club. Should I go ahead and get this? Actually, I've been really slacking on getting those. Let me get at least one mechanical computing thing. And he thought this would lead to, like 25,000 people coming or so. Shit, this is what I was afraid of. We are under attack. Leaders of the Anglo resistance in the north have launched a major coordinated uprising against our troops. So we lost 260 political power and 35,000 manpower. I'm really starting to think it's just inevitable, but that's okay. We're going to recruit the vigilantes. We're going to get that boost. And then we're going to end the rebellion once and for all, finish the reintegration, and then it'll be like nothing bad ever happened. Nothing bad ever happened. So, okay, all I'm seeing here is that they are beginning to move more and more forces over to my front. So we're just going to jump into it right now. How long has it been? Anyway, I'm just going to cut it right here. And in the next episode, we're going to get started. So thank you for joining me in today's episode of the United Mexican States. I know it was just a lot of consolidation and dealing with the rebellion, but that's part of playing as Mexico. So thank you for your time. I'll see you in the next one. Be sure to subscribe to Conquering History Games and click the little bell so you're always notified whenever a new video is up. And you have a wonderful day.